Poducer.
All right, we can get into it. I'll do a little intro. This is actually kind of fun because this is the first time I've run this setup. Normally I have someone running third chair and doing the scene switching, but I got like big brain about it and all techie, and like now no, I don't even have anything. It just switches.
Oh.
So like when you talk, just switches. It's pretty.
It picks up the voice. Oh, look at that.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah, let me say that I fucking...
This guy.
It took me a goddamn second. That's why I was like, why is my audio not working? And I was like, oh my God.
You're like the fucking camera switcher.
Yeah. But now I don't even need a guy. Anyway. It's fun when there's another guy here because then they can look up stuff too.
Yeah.
Like the Jamie of like...
R.I.P. Alberto. He lost his job. Just technology.
Does he need a job?
No,
Alberto?
he lost it because you've got the technology switcher now.
Yeah, but you know, there's nothing that replaces the human. Unless I could be like, hey Siri, like look up something we just talked about. That actually, not gonna lie, that doesn't even seem that hard to do.
No.
Like we're there.
Yeah. You can pretty much do anything via Siri all the time.
Yeah.
Siri talks to us randomly though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, my name is Jerry. So sometimes people will say my name and then it's like, what was that? And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
There's
like,
only one Jerry, Siri.
Yeah.
Sit the fuck down.
Calm down over there. All right. We'll get into it. Yo, what's up, guys? This is Poducer, the podcast for producers. Today we are joined by FLYNNINHO.
He said it right. Wow.
I tried. I feel like I threw a little like Latin flair on there.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Portuguese. So like you are actually the very first person since I've been on pods or whatever that said it right. First time, no hesitation. You
Really?
pronounced it. Yeah, it's Portuguese. So it translates to like Flinny. So like, you know, like she calls me Flinny. Gracie, my girlfriend, is in here.
You can't see her, but she's here.
She's here in spirit, guys. Always with you. But yeah, you know, growing up like it's Flinny. And so like when I played soccer in Brazil, like they would call me like, oh, FLYNNINHO. And I never knew what it meant because, you know, I grew up watching soccer and stuff. But then like it translates to the Y at the end of it. But people here call me like FLYNNINHO, FLYNNINHO.
FLYNNINHO?
FLYNNINHO is my favorite one. I'm like Aladdin, like up in the sky, just FLYNNINHO. But yeah, it's Portuguese. And so it's pronounced like an ene, like you would be like, you know, for like mañana in Spanish. But yeah, bravo. Kudos to you. Sorry. Longest intro ever.
I do what I can here. Yo, what's up, guys? Before we get into today's show, I want to take a quick moment to talk about our sponsor, Quake. As music producers and concert enthusiasts, we know how important it is to protect our ears. That's where Quake's Dub Muffs V2 come in. They aren't just any earplugs, they're a game changer. What sets Dub Muffs V2 apart, first off, their quality. They're better than any plugs I've ever used. I use them all the time. I have custom in-ear plugs. These are my main ones that I bring to shows. You get premium sound clarity, preserving those crisp highs and deep lows, all while safeguarding your ears from damaging volumes. And the best part, they don't break the bank. Quality and affordability, son. Let's talk customization. Quake knows one size doesn't fit all. That's why they offer two sizes. Whether you're at an intimate gig or a massive festival, Dub Muffs V2 fit comfortably in your ears, making sure you're protected no matter how long the show lasts. Let's face it, we've all left concerts with ringing in our ears. It's not good, but it ends up happening. But it doesn't have to be that way. Protect your ears while enjoying the pure sound of music with Quake's Dub Muffs V2. As a special thank you to our listeners, Quake is offering an exclusive discount. Just use the code POD15 at checkout to save on your first purchase. As a motto of our show, make sure you protect your ears. Now let's get back to the show. Yo, also, I know I said I was going to get back to the show, but I'm a liar. This is for the Chicago residents, or if you're from out of town, come through. We are throwing a show. It's the very first Poducer show. It is called House of Beats. It's at the Epiphany Center for the Arts. It's going to be a fantastic show. Our lineup is incredibly stacked. Let me read some names here. We got Going Somewhere, B4 Lasers, Care, Cozy Cold G, Easy Web, Backpack Beats, Pete Mac, Craig J, Damo Do the Most, Unregistered User, and special guest Eli the Guy. It's gonna be lit. This show is a tribute to the heart and soul of Chicago's extraordinary beat-making community. Imagine a unique blend of sacred and modern as the historic Epiphany Center, once a church, transforms into a pulsating hub of creativity and sound. Each beatmaker will take the stage, showcasing the diverse and rich musical heritage of the Windy City. Whether you're a beat aficionado or a casual music listener, House of Beats promises an unforgettable night. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. Go RSVP, secure your spot. You can find the link on the Poducer Instagram page. Don't miss out. It's a free show. Did I say free? All right, now we'll get back to the show. Word. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. I'm glad that we did that. And honestly, I just want to get straight into the soccer talk because that was something I wanted to ask you. Yeah. You said that you played soccer in Brazil?
Brazil and Sweden. Yeah, it wasn't very long. So basically my whole goal in all of life was to be a pro soccer player or whatever. And I achieved it. I basically did a combine here. And
what is a combine?
So like it'd be similar to like the NFL combine, where they have all the college kids come out and basically they run them through like drills or like a session or whatever. But yeah, I was in college and going into my college career, I had D1 offers going to my senior year and they got pulled because I broke my jaw, my neck in a soccer game, and basically I was hurt.
Fuck. Going to header a ball?
No, I was going to slide for a ball, but then a goalie drove his knee through my face. And then, they didn't want to take a risk on a gun-shy forward. That was kind of like a risk. And
meaning that like you wouldn't commit.
That was the fear. Yeah, I assume. It really didn't make sense to me. But I understand, like when coaches' jobs are on the line based on who they bring in college, at least in the United States, then, it's like they can't take that risk. But yeah, it kind of shifted me to go D3, and then, I went D3 to a small school in Iowa called Loris, and I hated it. but yeah, and then so I did combines out here. I come back every weekend from Iowa, anyways, and then a scout saw me play out here in Sweden first, so I went to Sweden first and played, and I did a combine there, basically playing against like, I don't know, like 4 Swedish teams, 2 Finnish teams, and then I got picked up halfway through the tour for the second half of the season, and yeah, I did really well. And then in Brazil, FC, I trained with when I was 16 too, and then I went there and then I got hurt again. But yeah, and I came back and played pro indoor in the States. That would be
dude, indoor. So
Rocket League.
Let me just say, yeah, like I played travel soccer. I played a little bit in high school. And whenever we would play indoor, it was like hockey, but soccer. You could play off the walls, like
get wrecked into the wall. Yeah.
And there's different sizes. Like the court that we played on was pretty small. Mm-hmm. But I know that they have like more full length, maybe not like full length fields, but like
it's probably similar, honestly, to like if you a hockey rink size in the professional level. Like I was in Cedar Rapids, and when I was down in Texas, got traded on there, but. They all, the MASL, that was the league I played in. Basically, it'd be considered semi-pro at any level, but it's professional indoor, like the highest level indoor you could play. But it was a hockey rink, and like you just go in and get wrecked in the walls and whatever. And so, yeah, that whole period of my life was like 19 to 22. So it's kind of like if I was right back in the NFL, my career was like 3 years and then like done. Because I just got hurt over and over and over and over, like hip surgery, knee surgery, facial reconstruction, neck surgery. So, damn, yeah. And then that's how brought it to the DJing. So, sorry. I mean, you want to get into soccer? We can get into soccer.
This is a podcast about soccer now.
Yeah. So, 411 by FLYNNINHO and Jerry. Yeah.
What's 411?
I don't know.
Oh, just call the 411.
Yeah. I was just trying to be trendy and like ambiguous, I don't know.
No, I like that. I like where you were going. I'm sorry I wasn't quick enough to pick it up.
Yeah, the ADHD is on fire today.
It's cool. No. But like, I just want to keep talking about this a little bit because like, it sounds like from that time period, you were moving around a lot. You said you were in Texas, Sweden, fucking Brazil. Like, that is insane.
Yeah, you know, I mean, soccer is really like the coolest sport in the world, I've always thought. And it's honestly why I appreciate the DJ and stuff now too, because I love seeing new places, traveling. Like, it's the only sport in the world that's played everywhere. It's the number one sport. So like, for example, my name FLYNNINHO, any person who is in any other country minus the United States, Australia, where like soccer is not the number one sport, because Brazilian soccer players always have the INHO suffix at the end of the name. They'll be like, oh, FLYNNINHO, is that you? You know, so like they can read it right. But yeah, like I loved being a foreigner all the time. And like, you know, in Sweden, not knowing how to speak Swedish was mental. It's like one of the hardest languages ever, but everyone spoke English there. Brazil, I was like the token gringo. And I would get like heckled during games. They'd be like, pinche gringo.
Really?
And I loved it. I loved it because like, you know, I get to see all these different cultures, be part of it. And like, I was just really blessed to be taken in by like, you know, my teammates and their families and stuff and get to see the world because it's cool. I feel like home is like wherever, you know, like you, like if you're good, your people, like I always tell Gracie, my wonderful girlfriend who I love very much, home is with you. Like as long as I have her and my family, like I'm good. I can be anywhere, location wise, but yeah. Get to see the world.
What was your favorite team to play for?
Well, I loved, I mean, honestly, Sweden. When I played in there, IFK Karlsland, which is like, I think they're third division now. It's like by Orebro. But yeah, they, I mean, just because I got thrown in really off the deep end, like I got picked up from that tour and I thought I was gonna be a third string, like, defender. Like basically that's what I was signed for. And then the two people in front of me got hurt within that week. And so I was kind of like thrown into it immediately, which I was like, I'm like a kid. I'm like, holy shit, it's happening. And like the first game, like I just get smoked down the side, you know, and they score. But like, it was awesome. And honestly, like I took a lot of that culture in terms of the acceptance and like the kindness and like the focus on health and the focus on, you don't live to work, you work to live, you know, kind of thing. Because that whole culture, they appreciate life a lot more, I feel like, in regards to the work-life balance. You know, like here, it's like, if you're not working every single day, like, you're fucking up, blah, 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 you know? And so, to me, it's like, life is not all of that. Like, my favorite memories are going to my teammates, like, families' houses. Like, I was a 20-year-old, I had a center back who had like 2 kids, you know, and his wife, and they're having me out for dinner. And I'm just like, this is insane. Like, I'm so grateful because it's like, you know, home away from home, I guess, physically. But yeah, I miss that. The energy though in Brazil was like, Brazil was just a party, like nonstop. The people there are all like jubilant and just grateful for what they have. There's a lot of poverty there too. So like, you would think that they would be depressed, but they're all like focused on, you know, being happy and living their best life. So
I feel like it's the sun. They just get good sun exposure.
I remember going out every day and it was just like 75 with a breeze and the sun was out and it's nice. Like when we don't have the sun here, like today, we've just been so groggy. It's been like dreary as hell. But yeah, the sun and like, you know, they just appreciate whatever they have. You know, it's not like they don't long for what they don't have, you know, like it's more a focus on like you have this moment to be here, like you're gonna make the most of it and enjoy it as much as you can, and then everything should fall into place. You know, they truly believe that if you're not happy and you're gonna go after stuff, it won't happen, you know, because you're like, you aren't focused on what's important, which is enjoying this time period you have in life. So yeah, I don't know, I would say probably Europe, but when I got pro indoor in Iowa and then traded down to the border of Texas and Mexico. Like I liked Texas, but Iowa's I title it Where Dreams Go to Die.
There's just nothing to do. Like
yeah. I mean, the people there are so nice. Like the Midwest, Iowa nice, you know, like I will always appreciate the people who were always just so kind for no reason. You know, I'm just like a random kid and they're like, oh, hi. You're like, do you need food? Do you need groceries? Blah, blah. Like if there's anything going wrong, they take time to talk to you. They bring their kids to the games and stuff. And so I appreciated that. But like living wise and like team wise, like within the team is very, how do I say this? Unprofessionally run in terms of getting paid on time and whatever. It was always dicey and it was always stressful. And then you have to go perform. You have to go play, you know, after like you haven't gotten paid in 2 weeks, you know, and you're saying they're like, yeah, this sucks. And there's nothing to do around here in Iowa. Oh, and it's cold. And oh yeah, I'm not playing professional anymore. I'm playing pro indoor now. And so all those things kind of factor into it, but I'm grateful I got to see all those places, you know, regardless.
No, it's like you lived a whole life. And I bet you that there's a ton of parallels between this and like music production, DJ career. Like you get to travel a lot. Like you had a whole professional life before you even started doing the stuff that we're gonna talk about. But like, that's so cool. Also, one thing I just wanted to say was on your profile, you say your mom's favorite rock star, the Beckham of Bass House.
Do you like the Beckham of Bass House?
So I was wondering, is that like David Beckham?
Well, there's only one. Yeah. I mean, there's Victoria, obviously, but but yeah, no, I mean, like the reason why I kept my name, like, you know, after I played in Brazil, I kept that on my jersey wherever I went. Like indoor, I had FLYNNINHO on the back of jersey. I remember when I started doing music, like the people who basically brought me into this, wisely, they said, you know, I don't know if anyone here is gonna understand that name. Like, you should change it. And it wasn't hate. It was like, you're right. We're in America, and it's like I get called Flying Ho, and it's like people are like, yeah, Flying Ho. Like, yeah, I know. But in my mind, you know, to me, it's like, you're right. I lived a life prior to this. I spent my whole life working for that period of time, 4 years of doing it. And so to me, it's like, I can honor it with my DJ name or whatever, and like the lessons I've, you know, learned. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool stuff.
That's really cool. That's so dope that you got to do that.
Yeah.
Clearly you're probably pretty good at soccer. Do you still play soccer?
So I play against...
Or football? Like you can't really call it soccer.
Well, you can call it soccer here. But I play against the 8-year-olds I coach. I coach like during the week. I ball out on them. I like score hella goals on 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds, and I celebrate so hard. But no, so I coach during the week, and then on the weekend stuff, I basically run one of the feeder programs into a travel program. Being like kids' first like introduction into the sport. Like sometimes they never played, or you know, it's the first structure they've had with soccer or whatever. But yeah, like that is about as much as I can do in regards to the sport, because like player wise, when I was a player, I would run through this door. Like I literally was so competitive and so torqued about it. And so when it wasn't at that level anymore, because I tried to play like, you know, men's league or whatever after.
Oh, bro, you're just like smoking.
I'm seething. Yeah. I'm seething. And it's like, but then, you know, it's like, okay, coaching taught me this. It's like when 22, when my career ended, my coach who had coached me here offered me a job. I took it. That's where I am now. And like the first like 3 months, I wouldn't talk, because in my head I'm screaming when a 4-year-old is running after a ball and they like trip. And like, you know, in my head, it's like, that's your contract, that's gone. But then you remember, oh, he's 4, he doesn't even know what his legs are yet. So it kind of mellowed me out a little bit. It sounds dumb, right? But to me, when you're at that level and you're chasing that level for so long, to then see someone not going at that level when you know what it was for you, it's a really hard adjustment that really honestly just forced me to kind of like take note and just like take a step back. But as a result, I can't play a game without it being at that level, you know, just because that's how serious I took it. And I'm glad it's there and stuff, and I'll ball out on the homies, you know, whatever, like if I ever get invited and stuff. But yeah, no, it's a closed chapter.
For sure. The last thing I wanted to ask about this, just as like a segue into music, is
transition.
Yeah. Was there any type of music that like you would listen to get fired up, like during some of these eras? Like,
yeah. I mean, so like, so in Sweden, like that's where I first really heard real house music. Like I go out to the clubs till 5 a.m. is deep house, one DJ for like 9 hours. And I was just like, God, like, what is this music?
It's a long set, dude.
Well, Europeans are crazy. Like, the Swedes are chill, but they'll party hard, like 6 a.m. closing times.
And then they hit the sauna the next day. How were those Swedish saunas?
They were nice. Yeah. There's some things I missed that, like, you know, as a soccer player, you just kind of give in. It's like, oh, it's nice. And then when you realize you're a normal person after, you're like, oh, wait, I can't afford the Swedish sauna.
Could you get a massage on demand?
Yeah. I mean, so like I literally was in we had nice, like, be the equivalent of a athletic trainer here. But like I literally was in massages like once a week, twice a week, getting rubbed out, like my body like getting rubbed down and stuff, and it was like nice. We actually just got massaged like last week, and it's like the second one I've had since my soccer career has been done. So yeah, I miss that.
Well, I just think about for myself, like if I could get a massage every week, I'd be a completely different person.
Yeah, you're a lot more chill. Yeah. You're not as, I mean, and for me too, it's like you break that stuff down, like you know, when you're training stuff, like I'm constantly getting rubbed down, and you need it. It's part of like the recovery / building muscle process and build bounce back. But yeah, I miss the Swedish massages for sure. Yeah.
So we kind of got sidetracked. Music wise, you were going to the deep house.
Yeah, deep house clubs, and then honestly, Brazil, like you always hear like the boom, 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 like the samba. Like there was always rhythm in Brazil, and like I'm doing a bad job of really relaying that, but it's like music is so important in that culture. And so every game you have like the dudes who are just like pounding the drums, and you're hearing music before the game, after the game. But like what I would be listening to, like in my headphones, like hard dubstep, like hard EDM, you know, going crazy and getting amped. But then when I went pro indoor, I think like I honestly just tried to not be in my head so much. So I'd take off the headphones, just be like, you know, in the moment, just be like listening to the sounds or like. But in indoor, it's cool too because they have DJs during the games for indoors.
Oh, so it's like a Bulls game.
Yeah, it's like a basketball game. And so like you have people like, you know, I remember playing one time. I remember like a Katy Perry edit came up. I remember sitting there like with the ball in my feet. I'm like, God, this song fucking sucks. Like, why are we playing this song while I'm playing the game? But yeah, you know, it's very EDM and electronic focused. Like I honestly started like making music and DJing. Got my first DJ board my last year of playing pro indoor.
Okay, perfect transition, because I was about to ask you, when did you start producing music? When did you start DJing? Yeah,
so it was kind of getting to the point in my career with soccer where it's like I keep on getting hurt. It's not where I want to go. Like this is bullshit all the time. But I love the music, and I started going to festivals, I think, and I was 19, so almost 10 years ago now. And so I started like, you know, my dad had got me a laptop for when I was at school and stuff, and a GarageBand. So I literally started opening up and fucking around with it. Like when I was playing, you know, I'm like, when we were at training or whatever, just make music. And like I would send my friends, be like, hey guys, what do you think? And they're like, yeah, it's really good. It's just like 4 loops and it's like awful. But yeah, you know, I didn't think anything of it. It's just kind of like a stress relief, and I love music. I've been going to festivals, and I wanted to make electronic stuff and dubstep, whatever. But then when I started DJing at home, when we weren't like at training, and I was just like, whoa, this is cool. And it's like, I didn't realize like how good, you always in your head are like, oh, this song would sound so good with this. But when you do it, and then like, you're just like so amazed that you can just go like, oh my God, the songs are over each other and I don't need to do anything. It was so cool. And so, yeah, it was kind of like, I almost knew, but I didn't know that like soccer was gonna be done. But I also didn't know, I never planned on being a DJ producer seriously. I was just doing it like for fun at that point. Just cause I loved the music. I loved the, you know, the Jaws set to, was it Spring Awakening 2016 and whatever. And like, you know, like that energy, I just loved electronic music. I'd work out to it all the time. But yeah, the moment I think I started to take it seriously was literally when my career was done. I came back and, I went and saw Joyride. He was playing a Lollapalooza pre-party.
So Joyride is like fun. I actually
Mental.
some of your songs, I'll say that like, I guess Joyride would be bass house, but it's like, it just smacks.
I wanted to hit you in the face, yes. And like when Joyride came out, I remember I didn't even know what like house music was or like the name for it. So like when Joyride came on, like my SoundCloud of working on, I'm like, yo, this really fast EDM is sick. Cause like there's just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, people are like, is he talking about drum and bass? Is he talking about nightcore?
Yeah,
like
I was 20. I was 20. It's hard bass house, but yeah, I didn't know the name. I didn't have terminology or anything. I just really loved it, and like I knew I loved Joyride, and so prior to going overseas, I went and saw this DJ play. This will all connect, I promise. I went and saw this DJ play at 515 Alive, this festival in Iowa, Des Moines. And like the next day I was on the plane going to Sweden. Nick Matzi, you know, of Basura Boys.
Mati. Is it just, does he go by just Mati? No?
Nick Nice is his solo name, but Basura Boys, they've released on like Night Bass. They're like hard tech house. Like they're doing really, really well right now. Didn't even know who he was then. I just remember seeing this set of these locals at this small stage, and it was fucking insane. Like I was just sitting there, I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? And then didn't think anything of it. Go at my career, come back. I literally met Joyride. And then I see the DJs, you know, like I see him and his partner at the time was Kyle. And so I was like, oh my God, I have to go talk to them. And so I run over, I was like, hey, like this may mean nothing to you. I saw you play in Iowa, I'm pretty sure. I just want to say it's one of the best DJ sets of my life that I've ever seen. Like it was crazy. He's like, oh my God, thank you so much. You should come out to our first event. It was like a drink in Schaumburg or something. And then, yeah.
Wait, drink is the club?
Yeah.
Drink. They just didn't even fuck around. They were
There's
just
like the alcohol
you know what
place.
you're doing, yeah.
but yeah, and then, you know, he like pushed me out, and like he was just really nice, and like I was really big. I'm always really big in supporting like whoever I can, you know, like if I connect with you, like I'm loyal. And yeah, and they went to the event, and him and his whole crew, like AO, Eric Estrada, James Estrada.
I know AO. We interviewed AO at Undercoast, yeah.
Yeah, so they're the like that whole group, Be Nice Collective, I'm sure they told you about it too. Like they all welcomed me in. I was the Be Nice intern. I just really fucked with them and went to everything. And I was DJing at home, but it wasn't like serious or anything. I wasn't even trying to be like that. I just really fucked with the boys and stuff. And then one day, you know, we've been killing it at this club residencies, and they made me part of Be Nice, and I was like so hype. I got hired from the intern spot to the Be Nice liaison, whatever person. Nick Matzi one day is like, dude, you should DJ. I was like, what? And then I'd been producing, but I'd stopped producing, you know, at that point in GarageBand because I was just like so obsessed with the DJing at home and whatever. And then I started just like going hard. I practiced every day at home. And then I started making music at home, like hit them both hard. And then I remember I got my first slot ever in Chicago, Evil Olive, which is now closed for a very long time.
Shout out Evil Olive, dude.
Yeah.
Classic right there.
And I'm like sweating bullets. He's like, hey, you're good DJ. And I was like, fuck yeah. And then we go into the back room and there's no one there. And I'm sweating bullets. I'm like freaking out because I've never played in CDJs, never did any of that. And the DJ before me, like he sees my hand like shaking, plugging in the USB, and there's nobody in this room. It's like the back room. There's like, it's dead.
But you're standing up to the stage and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck.
Also, when you haven't played on CDJs and you're like, where is everything?
Yeah, you know, and it's like I got like 1 5-minute crash course from like Eric prior to it.
Dude, bro, everyone's had the 5-minute crash course.
He's like, this is here, good luck. And I'm just like, what? Okay, I'll figure it out. And then eventually when I got the rhythm of it, but the DJ before me, Knockout, who I'm really good friends with now, but at the time, you know, he was like all these tattoos and like he looks legit and he's been doing a lot of scratching stuff. He's like, yo, bro, you know what you're doing, bro? And I'm like,
you're like, oh God. He could have been like, oh dude, you're gonna be fine.
No, there was none of that. Yeah. This was like, it's like, you know, this ain't my first rodeo, except this was my first rodeo. And so like I literally was just like, yeah, and in my head I'm like, no, don't. But then yeah, you know, it went fine, it went great, like because there's no one back there, and like I'm sure it wasn't the best thing ever, but I did it. And then yeah, from that point on I was like hooked. And then yeah, now here we are today, I guess.
So did you continue to kind of DJ with Be Nice? Or,
yeah, so Be Nice went, so like I said, it was Nick Matzi.
I'm familiar with them. I think I've run into most of them at this point.
Yeah, the only one you probably wouldn't have run into would be Pharaoh, Anthony Mitchell.
I've had Pharaoh on the podcast.
I miss him. I haven't seen him in so long.
He was actually over at my house like a week ago.
Shout out Pharaoh, I love you.
A week ago.
I miss you. If you're watching this, Pharaoh, I love you. I miss you. But yeah,
I'll just say this, he's wicked. He DJ'd an event with me and I was like, bro, the people were like, can you DJ for another hour? And then they came back like an hour later like, can you just keep going?
Yeah.
Like, he was like, fuck it.
So exactly, so with Be Nice Collective, like I literally was surrounded by insane DJs with Nick Matzi. Eric Estrada can run an open format set like that. They used to do like just the crazy open format sets. You know, Ben Elliott got added in, like he's insane, like open format DJ, Pharaoh. And so, yeah, so like I kind of had this platform just to really like go into it. But yeah, you know, like Be Nice Collective helped really kind of shift the city's culture from the, hey bro, you good? Like, oh, I don't know you, fuck you type kind of mentality to, hey, you're good, let's collaborate, let's do something. Like, I want to see you shine. Like, you know, maybe you can help me, maybe not. That's not what it's about. And so we had residencies at like Trophy Room, RIP, Balvon, RIP, Liquor Box, Tobacco Road, whatever. And we just all go together. El Jefe, RIP now as of this weekend.
Oh, really? I was not familiar.
Yeah, we found out when we were in Nashville. But yeah, and so we do it all together all the time. And so like it was really, I feel like I needed that kind of structure to really kind of like, okay, if I see every week that they're killing it, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, how do I get that good? And so like, you know, just keeping the level high. And then, you know, when I started producing, really like getting tips from Eric Estrada, Birthday Party and James Estrada and Nick Mazzi, like it was really helpful to have that structure set up into place, because it wasn't just about the clubs. Their whole goal is to do the same thing that they're doing now, that I'm doing now, which is to be producers. But the only pathway really quickly into the artist like show kind of network is really either through your music, which I didn't have at the time, or is through running every single club and going hard and having your name out there and finally getting a shot, you know, that was the path I took. So
yeah. I mean, dude, you've played a lot of shows. I was looking at your resume, and let me just read a little bit of this. Like, performed with Cruella, Dirty Audio, Champagne Drip, Bijou, Birthday. Like, just it goes on for a long time. Festivals, North Coast, multiple times, Spring Awakening, Bollywood Electric Beach. I don't know what that is, but it sounds lit.
It was North Ave Beach. Corona puts it on, and this year it was like Cash Regard. Cash Regard. I was like one of the only local acts. I think it was like myself, Pods, and like DJ Flipside or whatever.
Word.
Yeah.
So how have things changed from like that and like everything you've done between then? Like you just told me you were in Nashville DJing at the Barstool like place. How did that go?
It went really, really well. I keep on looking over at Gracie. If you guys are wondering who I'm looking at, she's very beautiful. She looks cute. We do everything together, but yeah, I underestimated how basic some of the music taste is, and I'd been warned, right? Like there are a
bunch of whites out there, bunch of people that look like us,
a bunch of the Caucasians. I'm actually president of the anti-white people club.
Well, I'm also like a weird breed because like I look kind of, for lack of better word, ethnic. That's not the proper word.
I get what you're saying.
But you look like
you have a little spice to you.
Yeah, there's a little spice. You can't really pinpoint what it is though.
But you're just white like me. Yeah. So I underestimated that, and like I mean honestly I don't even think I underestimated it. It's just my ego was like, I'm not ripping Katy Perry firework. I'm not doing that, because like I will get pretty basic. I'm pretty vanilla. Like I like people having a good time. But the DJ before me was incredible, because he had been, you know, he does all the bar stools around the country. He's kind of showing me the ropes, and he was playing like literally songs like, but my hands up, like I'm standing there like, no, like in my head, like no, but like I should have that for that gig if I'm going to take it. And seeing how well it went off, because like you think like, oh, it's Barstool, yeah, it's Nashville, throw some country. I made a bunch of country edits of my songs with country over at Morgan Wallen. Last night we let the liquor talk. But yeah, and those went off. But like, yeah, it went really, really well. Everyone there, the energy was incredible. It was like the most lit nightlife I've seen since COVID here. Because post-COVID, everything here is just like,
oh, dude, they were rocking it during COVID. I had some friends go out there.
They don't fuck around out there. Those bridesmaids and all the people.
They're there to have a good time.
They go so hard, dude. And so, like, it was really refreshing, because, like, for a long time, Chicago hasn't been like that post-COVID, at least in, like, the nightlife show sector. It's kind of like, oh, you're not the headliner. Oh, cool, that's a good song. Oh, you can kill it. Oh, like, you're cool. I really like you. And then when the headliner goes on, who's doing way worse than whoever the local is, they'd be like, oh my God, go crazy. And so it's just kind of like weird. So it's like, it was nice to have genuine energy and people who were just like, oh my God, you did so well. And they were so kind to us, took care of us, security, bar backs, all the bottle girls, like the DJs. Like it was really, really nice and needed. My liver hurts. But
yeah,
the one shot tequila, man, I don't do tequila, and it just fucked up the whole night.
Yeah, so. You're coming over. I'm like, I got tequila and beers,
and I was like, hell yeah, brother. But yeah, so that was really, really good, and yeah, I can't remember what else you asked.
Well, I was just wondering, kind of like, you know, what it all looks like in between.
Oh, okay.
But also like, you know. Not to go on that for too long, but like kind of what does the schedule look like now with DJing? Like, is it mostly Chicago stuff? Is there a tour happening?
So I have to go back pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, I was pretty much gonna blow up. Like I had locked in tour legs with big artists like on Martin Garrix's label and stuff. You know, like I was planning to move to LA. And then obviously COVID happened, and then all of that kind of died. And like at that point, I was like a resident at every single club here, was playing the shows, releasing music, like not as regularly as I am now, but like enough. And then over COVID, I kind of shifted it, like, okay, my goal is to like, I've done everything here that I can do, you know, minus play Lala at this point. So my goal is to get out of there. So how do I do that? It's like through the music and through like having these shows and having my set be memorable and connecting with the fan base that's here. Because there's a fan base of loyal Chicago people who want to rage with local artists. They just don't know who they are. And that's not their fault. It's like a lot of the people who used to gatekeep a little bit. Luckily, a lot of that's changing now. But yeah, so my focus used to be the clubs because that was the only pathway into these shows at like Prism, Soundbar, Concord. But the only way to stay there was through the music. So I really started taking the music seriously. And then I started releasing song after song. And all of a sudden it was like, I'm playing a show every single week, you know, whether it is like here or like Milwaukee or Iowa, like, you know, it had been pretty local. And then last year was the first out of Midwest show I played, which was in San Diego with Sherm, the Hood Poly guys. And then I play in Canada next week this weekend, 3 days. Wow. 3 days.
Wow. Nice.
I played Ghastly, in Calgary. And so like, it's starting to happen, a lot. And cause I don't want to do this here anymore per se. I mean, not that I don't love it here, and I'm grateful for every opportunity here. Like I'll take whatever is presented to me if it makes sense. But, at this point, like when you've done everything here, I need to keep growing. And I also don't want to stop other artists from growing when they haven't had their shot, you know? And luckily, like I know, like, I don't know if you know Galena Crew, you probably met the Galena Crew boys or whatever, Undercoast.
Maybe. Who's part of Galena Crew?
There's Henry, there's Max. I don't know the third guy, but they're like two bass house kids, and like they just kill it and crush it. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, yeah, you guys should get all the shows. Like, why wouldn't you? Because I've already done it here. And so now it's like, okay, gradually, I need to have the shows here, you know, but I also need to be showing growth. So like this Canada show, Nashville, it's important, you know, because like, and every time I go play, I get to make fans. And like once promoters can see that you will, you know, bring heads and they like you, once you build that trust, which takes time, then it just starts happening. So luckily I'm in the process of that. Luckily people trust me and believe in my music and stuff. And
we don't have to get into like the, you know, the juicy details, but you kind of mentioned gatekeeping. Like, I feel like gatekeeping in Chicago is definitely a thing I've heard of. I would assume it happens in almost any city you're in.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe there's just like a gangster mentality in Chicago.
Well, so Be Nice Collective was established to get rid of that, because it's like, hey, if you're dope, you're dope. Like, good music is good music. It doesn't matter if you're Johnny from down the street who lives in his car but makes fire music, or if you're like the most established DJ ever. It's like, if it's good, it's good, you know? So luckily the last couple of years, like you have Sherm, you know, over at Soundbar, who was my previous manager. We both have the mentality of like, hey, let's bring everyone with us, you know? And so when you're a local artist and you have the opportunity to have like a headline show like I did, you know, FLYNNINHO and Friends twice now, that's important, because it's like you get to really break through the gatekeeping, because you're the gatekeeper for that night. So you have to use it to spotlight the people that actually deserve it. you know, for me, like the Galena Crew boys, or you know, people like Max Quinones, you know, or like, you know, Jake Shore before he blew up, he was on Sherman Friends, you know, the Hood Pauline Friends or whatever. That goes a long way, and luckily Chicago is at the point where a lot of the artists are kind of in control of the music, like the music side of nightlife, whereas like the show side of nightlife, and artists booking artists, not like just some random dude being like Jada as hell and being like, yeah, no, you're not cool enough out. But definitely and that's recent, you know, so like a lot of that's still being worked out a lot of places, but yeah, gatekeeping is it's an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, it was brutal when I came in. Like, I remember playing a tunnel one time, and whoever the resident was there, this was when I first started DJing, I got hit up last minute to switch from opener to headliner because whoever's there, like, bailed. And I killed it, and, like, you know, I crushed it, whatever. The resident was so pissed. I didn't play there for 2 more years after that until he left. And I was just sitting there like, why? You know what I mean? It's like, hey, like, we did good. You know, the bartenders make money. The bottle girls make money. Security had no bullshit, whatever.
Do you think it comes down to where the money's allocated, that it's not going
to whatever they want? Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it's ego. You know, it's like, I want Chicago's artists who are plentiful. And honestly, our DJs and our artists are some of the best. Like, every time we go DJ somewhere else, even our worst would blow out their best. And I stand by that, you know. We just grind for it. And so the only issue is you can get the local shows, but the gatekeeping happens when you try to leave. Because we're not provided that pathway without like doing a John Summit, where John Summit was in Chicago. He didn't play Spy Bar, the tech house spot, before I did, you know, which is insane. I'm not even a tech house artist. And so it's just, a lot of it was connections. And while that does matter, like, if you're an artist who has a platform and like who has worked hard to be trustworthy and to run it, you then have to take that and reinvest it back into the city, you know? And so like, I've done a lot of that, and yeah, sometimes I get burned, and sometimes I'm like, I understand why people gatekeep, you know, it's kind of both, but at the same time, I think it's always better to give someone a shot than to not, you know, because without mine, I wouldn't be here. And so it's like, it's my job to pay it forward.
Yeah.
I think that's a responsibility of a lot of Chicago artists that they don't fully see, or that they have, or that they don't care about, really. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it change, you know. I know. Do you think it's changing in the city?
I feel like it's changing. I feel like I'm myself kind of growing into having like a little bit more leverage to do things. And when you start to do that, it feels like, I mean, part of it just comes down to like time in the game. But yeah, I do see it. I feel like COVID for sure helped that.
Yeah, wiped a lot of it out.
But I feel like gatekeeping, it almost like inherently happens because you're just trying to hold on to something
that you have,
that you worked for, or whatever. Maybe you didn't work for it, whatever it is, like, but it just comes down to like fear. Because like the one thing is, if you collaborated with all these dope people, like, you could capitalize off that. I mean, that's my mentality.
Yeah, you know, it's like how you said it is the best way I've heard anyone describe it. It really is about protecting what you have. And I'm not going to sit there and say that you shouldn't do that, because you have to. You have to, like, it's on the planes, you know, it's like put on your air mask before you help someone else. Yeah,
before you like...
You can't help someone if you're dying, you know? Like, you have to maintain that. So it really is striking a balance. What I found is, like, you know, it's like, if I feel like I'm falling behind because I'm giving a lot of attention to the artists who need it, you know, like who are asking for my help or who I'm plugging, I have no problem doing that. But then I feel like I'm not getting that, then I just like take a step back and just focus on me, you know, and just like get myself to that level I need to be at. And when I mean, it's kind of weird, you know, it's like you benefit from both, but also both are destructive, you know, where it's like...
Some people could take advantage of you, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, if someone takes advantage of me, how are they going to take advantage of me? Of a gig? Or my care, you know? I like... Okay.
And I always try to think about the long term, where it's like, if someone fucks you over, you have a lot of friends. I mean, not to say you're just going to go tattle on this person, but like, if someone comes and asks you for a rec that they're gonna book this guy or something. You're like, I don't know, man. He was kind of shady to me. Like that speaks volumes. So
yeah, I mean, and like honestly, I just try to be very forthright with whoever I'm working with. Like, you know, like all the young DJs that Gracie and I were called mom and dad, because you know we ushered a lot of them in and gave really like we focused on like this is the reality of it. This is how you don't fuck it up. And when they were slipping, it's like, dude, you're not doing this. I need you to do this. My name is on the line too. And if they don't respect that, okay, no hard feelings. I have to protect myself. Let me know if I can help any other way. That's not DJing, you know? But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. I think the leverage that I have over myself is the only leverage that matters. Like I only give my power away. No one has it already. You know what I mean? Like I choose to give it out. And so like, I don't know. I think to me, it's like, I can't take it personally. You know, if someone in that moment decides to do the wrong thing and fucks it up for me, because okay, that's just how it went. Like people are at different places in their life all the time, but I have to keep moving forward, you know? And you know, if they come around at that point in time, like later down the road or whatever, like that's cool. Like I will prove it to me. I'll welcome it back with open arms. I truly am like that. But like to me, no one else has an influence over my shit other than me. At the end of the day, who I choose to give, you know, my time to, why I give it to. Because yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason why I started DJing over soccer, dude. Soccer, I scored literally professionally. Scored 2, we lost 3-2. Mental. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, how do we lose? I did everything right. But like I didn't control as much as I could. Like with DJing, making the cover art and make my music, like I control how well I'm doing, how shitty I'm doing. It's on me, you know? And so I think like when you have it that real, like I don't make excuses. If I have a bad set, I don't blame, oh yeah, well this was weird or whatever. It's like, no, I didn't come prepared, you know? Or when I crush it, I say, yeah, I crushed it because I worked for it, you know? And so I don't know. I don't think a lot of people can really fuck you over if you are living very honest with yourself and you're very cognizant of, yeah, that wasn't the best night, but we did what we needed to do, blah, blah. You know, like being real. And I think I have been, for better or worse. It has come back to burn me where I'm like, yeah, you know, like I'm in a weird place, whatever. Like, cool, we're moving on. But I mean, that's my obligation. That's our obligation. That's okay, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that's a really mature way to think about it. And I can't help but think like you might have developed a little bit of that from the soccer days. I don't know. I mean, I always tell whoever I meet, you know, like if like I get to know them, like how you are with me, like I would not be a successful artist at all, or even have a chance at doing this if I wasn't a failed soccer player first. I mean, flat out. Like, yeah, I played professionally, and yeah, I achieved my dream. I was gonna say, it doesn't really feel failed.
But think about this: I wasn't Ronaldo, I wasn't Beckham, and in my head, that's the only level I wanted to be at. And so, like, you know, I'm 22, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I failed. Obviously, I didn't. I achieved my dream. It just wasn't as how I envisioned it. But at the end of the day, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes in that. Like, I had to grind every single day to be just as good as people who didn't even have to try with soccer.
Because they were just like innately skilled.
And like I was skilled enough, but like the moment I started working for it is the moment I actually got good. And it didn't come naturally to me like that. But that only happened the moment I accepted what I was and what I wasn't, which is, all right, I know I'm a lazy piece of shit, so how do I work as little as possible but get the most, you know, output in it? And then and yeah, like, you know, learning how to prioritize what's important to you. Like my dreams are important. I didn't have friends, you know, like in college where it's like consistent, you know, it's like whoever I saw the most at that point in time, and then sometimes you'd be friends, sometimes you wouldn't be after, or family or love or whatever, sleep, grades, you know, no income, struggling, like all those things were on the back burner because I believed I could do this. But it takes a lot of sacrifice and a lot of patience and trust in whatever. Like I've been burned 1,000 times by shitty coaches who did the wrong thing on levels, and I've been burned by teammates who didn't come, you know, very prepared, and as a result I didn't get the looks that I needed to get, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like when I look back, it's like, yeah, but you didn't practice. You were at a D3 school. You still could have went and hustled to go to D1 schools, and you didn't. You made it harder for yourself, which is, I'm a pain in the ass. That's what I do. Apparently, I take the long road. But yeah, a lot of it comes from that. Like never ending grind and like the dedication to that and like the acceptance of what you are and what you're not, like you have to believe in it that hard and work for it that hard. And without soccer, I wouldn't understand that. I'd probably just be, I don't know, some 9 to 5 and depressed and want to die or something. You know what I mean? Honestly. But the moment I realized I needed this and I accepted that, and I accepted that there are going to be things that are going to hurt me by doing this, you know, DJing or by soccer, like it becomes a lot easier to deal with. You don't take it personally when you know that you're going into some shit you don't know.
Yeah, the one thing you said before is the word torque. And I feel like you definitely have that. You know how to turn
it on.
On the energy if you need it. And the one thing I wanted to say, just to like, you know, sum up kind of what we're saying, is that it seems like, you know, if you perform at a certain level in one area and you get so high, like up that totem, that you can transfer the
skills,
that like understanding of how hard to go into other things. And it seems like
I mean,
did that.
Why do you think kids why do you think kids are in teams in sports? Answer. Why do you think?
To learn how to work together.
Yeah, that's it. They give you the life skills to work together within a team. And so like, honestly, what you just said is true. Like the understanding of how to deal with adversity when everything is falling apart around you and you don't know what to do, and there's really like, you're either gonna sink or swim. Yeah, that was learned through soccer. When I'm back on a plane and my career is done and I'm about to move back to my parents, and I'm like, who the fuck am, like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, and learning how to build yourself back up after, like, that was learned through soccer. Like knowing how to work with people who I cannot stand, soccer. Learning why I like in people, what works for me, the ways I receive communication, soccer. So like all those things, the work ethic, the grind, the determination, the understanding that it's ebbs and flows, the in-form, out-form, you know, for soccer, like same for DJing, you know, music and whatever. Like it's all like this. The more you can raise that level and make it more like little waves, try to keep it there, that's good. But yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think
like longer low waves type of deal. Keep it steady. It seems like if you ever had kids, you'd want to put them in sports. That sounds like an important thing to do.
If they're gonna play a sport, it'd be soccer. But yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't make them do anything. Like I would obviously push them towards soccer, but like if they didn't want to, I'd be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, learn music. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I don't want them to ruin their life. Like that. Yeah.
But it is important to just have some drive and have something
that's yours, that you worked for. And that's,
it's sounding like fucking preaching here, but it
welcome to Good Intentions by FLYNNINHO.
The 411.
The 411. Love yourself.
All right, before we get too preachy and on our high horse about stuff, let's play a track.
Okay.
I don't know if any of these you wanted to start with. I was thinking maybe the Blink-182 one, because that's coming out soon.
Yeah, so
it's probably going to come out before this podcast airs. But
so you've already listened to it and you love it.
Out. Yeah, exactly. You already know it.
With goodbyes, and I'll take
brother.
Dude, yeah, let's get into it. Why Blink-182? Are you a big Blink fan?
I am a sad boy, big Blink, pop punk. That was all like, I mean, I still listen to it now, but this song in particular, I would sing to Gracie all the time in the car, and we'd be balling together because we love each other so much. And I don't know, she knows like this is gonna sound cheesy, so don't roast me. But yeah, I've never had someone to sing this song to, and I always love the song, and so I just start belting out to her in the car, and then she's crying, I'm crying, but then yeah, you know, it's like I love Blink-182. I wouldn't remix, like whenever I do remixes, it's like I want to do songs that I like and that I can bring something to, but ones that haven't been done really. So like All the Small Things, that's a song that everyone knows. And yeah, if I was gonna be on TikTok and trendy, this song would be 3 minutes shorter, which it probably should be at this point. In
30 seconds.
Well, yeah, I mean, and honestly, that's why I play at the end of my sets, because in today's era, like this generation of raver or listener, their attention span is like this, you know? And I found that playing in my sets. Like I play at the beginning of my set, the end of my set, the middle of my set, testing out. And it hits best at the end when it's just like I'm leaving, I'm like peace, and then you know people are belting out, and I've had a good set. But it's so long. And one of the things I try to do with remixes, I try to really respect the original as much as I can. So like some DJs like on remixes will take out like the part that everyone, you know, the part of the song like everyone goes crazy, like in the yeah it's like dun 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 dun.
Dude, I hear it so much.
Yeah, like, but they're all waiting for that part, you know. So if you're gonna remix something, like everyone probably knows the song. If they don't know it, like by a name, once they hear it, they'll know the song. And so like when I've done Evanescence or this one, or whatever, it's like, how do I take that original, and add my own flavor to it while still keeping like the essence of what they're singing. So like in the other one, it's very like pop punk, like fast, and it's like high school kind of like vibe, who's in love. And I was like, all right, how do we mature that? And how do we like have this dude pouring his heart out like how he is, but into an adult, you know, I'm making it deeper. It's like the chords at the end, you know, it's like you contrast it with the hard part, which is mainly my section. And then we got lucky, and we had it kind of be that for the second drop, and I was like, this doesn't work. Like it doesn't work for both. And I was like, wow, what if you go like melodic? And he's incredible at doing like all the melodic breaks like that. And so yeah, so we ended the melodic, and like people are waiting for that, you know. Even if I've been playing a whole bass house set, like I know that's how it's supposed to end, and you probably do too, you know. Where
it feels like it has that release because you feel those chords and you're like, yeah.
You're like fucking finally 5 minutes later, let's go. And so yeah, I mean, like it's a real song, you know, as opposed to a lot of electronic music in general. It's like, you know, I've listened to radio edit. Like this has what, radio edit? Yeah, master radio edit. This wouldn't play on the radio because it's too long, you know. But like the extended with like the intro and the outro is like 6 minutes long. Because it's an actual song with 2 different drops and big breaks and big whatever, which is how probably, when did you come into EDM and like that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I started listening to like UKF in high school, so I was like 10.
Okay, yeah. So like around the same era when songs were still songs, and you had the big breaks, and you're at the festivals with the big chords and like whatever. Like my favorite moments and memories of EDM was like those big Jaws, like saw chords where it's like, no, and the lights in your, everyone's like, going crazy. So I try to emulate that here. Like I always joke about like a lot of the remixes I do, they're all songs that I love. Sometimes I can't listen to the original after making it just because like, and crazy too, like I did Motley Crue, and like,
sick.
Yeah, Motley Crue, that was the first one for, you know, when I started doing this whole kind of push towards rock music that I like. But yeah, like I love how it turned out. Like if people have the attention span for it, like if they hear that's actually a real song, I think, you know, they'll do well.
What do we call this genre wise? Would it be bass house? Would it be like,
it's mainly bass house. Like, I mean, by the traditional sense, when I knew what bass house, what it was, you go on like Beatport, bass house is like one bass shot and then a tech house like song. And I'm not trying to be that guy, but like back in my day, we called it us. But yeah, like it's bass house, and honestly, like I always just say I make bass house bangers. Like I make songs for festivals, for like the club. Like you won't understand it until you feel it like hitting your chest, you know? And so, and my manager actually said that. He's like, you know, one time during my set, he's like, all your songs fucking go so hard. And I didn't understand it until literally now. Like your songs are built for these rooms and these big arenas and stuff. And so, and that's where I project myself going. So I got to make the shit, you know, to match it. And yeah.
How do you feel about like when you're producing something in your room and you're trying to translate that to the final destination of like it being in a big room?
I mean, well, I mean, no one's ever asked me that before. So that's actually really cool. Well, let's see. So, I mean, I make a lot of my music, honestly, just on my laptop, like sitting on the couch in my bedroom or, you know, wherever. Like I'm sitting there.
What do you use?
Logic.
Not GarageBand anymore?
I upgraded to the kick-ass GarageBand. And let me tell you, any producers out there who make electronic music, if you're really patient and you want to make your life harder, go to Logic Pro. I'm in too deep. I refuse to learn something new at Ableton. Everyone's like, why don't you get Ableton, bro? Why don't you get it's so much easier? I'm like, yeah, it is easier. But I said before, I like to make things harder for myself. And so, yeah, like
I wouldn't say it's like easier. I feel like Ableton looks like daunting. It does.
It looks like a gray
confusing.
Graveyard of death and sadness.
It really does. Yeah.
But no, so like Logic was built originally for like live music. So like it's incredible at like processing like vocals and guitars, like real guitars and drums. Why I said electronic producers, it's very easy to get into. Like you just drag and drop a sample, boom, it comes out. It sounds where it's like Logic, even though it's gotten a lot better since I've been in it, is not fully built for the electronic music, which like is so easy in Ableton. You just like boop, and then you're just like boop, drag something. Where it's like I have to click 10 buttons to do the same thing for whatever, which is fine. You know, at this point I'm pretty like fluent with it. But yeah, Logic. So like for those chords, for example, like that's where Logic kicks ass, where it's like it sounds good. Like on that's stock, you know, like stock synthesizers and pianos and basses. But yeah.
But you produce predominantly like laptop.
Yeah, laptop and like
headphones.
Headphones, yep. If she's not there, if Gracie's not there, I will put on the computer speakers. But I'm always envisioning like when I DJ, right? Like the moments that the room is going crazy and like I'm imagining like CO2 cannons and like, you know, fireworks and the flames. Like I'm always making my music like I'm playing it there. I mean, and I think you could probably tell that because like it's like real intense, you know.
It sounds like festival music.
Yeah. And so like it's built for that stage, you know, because that's where I plan on being. That's where I'm going. Like that's the whole point I do this, you know. And like what I loved most about EDM, I didn't understand EDM until I went and saw it live. And I was like, oh shit.
I think that's how a lot of people are, that they just like, they have a preconceived notion,
like
all
the
these
robot
fucking
music.
Ravers. Yeah. All right. You listen to Optimus Prime, like robot
Decepticon dubstep, bitch.
Exactly. And then you go, and I mean, there are people that are like
that. Yeah.
That are like kind of dead. Like they've taken too many drugs, whatever. Yeah. But like, there's a lot of really good.
Well, I love EDM solely because of how it made me feel. Like I'm a social person, but I would not say I fit in with any group. Like I was always a circle peg in a square hole. Like I fit, but I'm not getting everything I need all the time. And so sometimes you can feel really like, I don't know, incomplete a little bit sometimes, or like you're not understood. And what EDM was like, I'm just in the crowd jamming. They're like, yo, what's up, bro? Nice shirt. And they're like raging hard, and like everyone's raging. So like there are the rave bros, and like I get that, the frat bros who are going through crowds and just be like, yeah bro, beers, and like game fights and stuff. But like a lot of EDM, it's built off of the people that like, you know, weren't accepted, and so like they just want to have a good time and just be themselves. And so like I found it in the EDM community. Oh god.
You're good.
This table's about to fight me.
Tables held up by toothpicks.
But yeah, I've never felt more accepted, especially in my 20s when you're kind of like figuring out who you are. And like, you know, I'm overseas and coming back and like, you know, going to festivals in the summer. It's a weird spot, you know. And so when you go there and then like you have this incredible love and energy there. Everyone wants to be there. They're not like, oh, this music fucking sucks, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm just here for being a scenester, like
Yeah.
techno snob. No, I'm sorry, techno snobs. Nothing
We love
against
you. But like, that's what's cool about it. There's a place for everyone there. And so like, you know, I make music because I want people to feel what I felt, you know, which is whether you're gay, straight, black, white, alien, whatever, like during my set, outside of that hour, nothing else matters except what's right here, and you're accepted if you want to be here, and if you don't want to be here, okay, cool. But yeah, and then I remember it's like people being nice at these festivals for no reason. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Like, why are they so nice? Cause
festivals just have like Midwest charm somehow.
yeah, it's like it's all
no
like
matter where you go.
It's all like the Iowa old super was a superstore lady, you know, whatever, like a super Target, being like, oh, hi, hon, you have fun, everything okay? Like, oh my god, yes, I did, thank you. Like that's the energy, and like it was very foreign because I was not used to getting that back. And then when you hear the music hit in your chest, like the sub and like the visuals all at once, I was just like, yeah, this is like it. Like that's.
I feel like this song also is like a nice homage to like the angstiness of like not fitting in.
Yeah.
And then combining that with the festival EDM thing.
I mean, like to me, it's like I have two sides to me, right? Like I am very nice and kind and whatever, and like there's the other side of me, which is like, you know, the turn on, you know, like the torque and like, you know, doing what I need to do, like an aggressive side that's like kind of scary sometimes, you know, like or whatever, like, you know, the darkness, the depression, whatever, like those sides both exist to me. And so in a lot of my songs, like I want to represent that, you know, it's like, yeah, like I just want to rage randomly in the middle of the song and build up, and it's like, but still as a whole, beautiful, a pretty song, a deep song, you know, with one moment of rage, and it comes around, you know, full circle into melodic. And so I like that you said that. That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, it is super cool. I'm curious what like kind of the future game plan for FLYNNINHO is, both like logistically planning and getting different spots at different shows.
Yeah.
And then also sound palette wise, like, are we going to stick to this? I mean, I know you have, you know, like this X Medius release, which is basically dubstep I was listening to.
Yeah.
And we can talk about X Medius as well.
Yeah, whatever you want.
But like, you know, like,
what's the plan?
Yeah, what's the plan?
So the plan for me really is like, I'm not the local DJ, I'm an artist, you know. And really like I've lucked out that like a lot of the city sees me that way now too. It's kind of hard when you come up here and they see you. They always remember you as like that little boy who was DJing his first gig or whatever. But yeah, I mean the focus is through the music. And so like once I'm not playing every club, because I'm not playing every club anymore, I'm like making a lot more music. I'm focusing on the shows, and you know, it's really harnessing in on like my brand, which is like, you know, or branding wise anyways, the look. I don't care about the brand stuff, but it's all in black and white, and, you know, staying true to that.
I noticed the black and white.
Yeah.
I noticed, what was the intention? But you just like the black and white? I fuck with it.
I like the black and white.
Go to his Instagram, you'll see.
Yeah, it's all black and white with dashes of red. Same Punk, who he made like the first like bass house rock remix I heard. During the first ever show I played as an artist with Valentino Concord, and I played the Nirvana. She opened up behind you. It's okay.
Get in there. Yeah.
I was playing at Concord, and I remember like I was like killing it, but I was told like, hey, don't go too hard, you know, because you're the opener, blah blah. And I was like new, so I was just like, okay. And then I accidentally played the Nirvana remix that you had. It goes hard, and the room went fucking ballistic. And I was like, wait, and I didn't even know I had that song in there. So it's kind of like there's a lot that goes back in there. Like what? I don't know how I got there, whatever. But I played it and I was like, oh my God, like that's what I like. Like I like rock music. Like I like the bangers, and I love bass house, you know? So for a while it's been that. And honestly, like I'm going to be staying with that, you know, intermittently now. The main focus I think now is like, you know, there's the two sides, like the rock side or whatever, but there's also the EDM side. So like, I like the melodic, I like the hard, and I think that balance is always really hard to strike. So I think this year I'm really gonna start, you know, just really going for the melodic into the hard, keeping the hard drops. I want to rage. I want to rage always. Then it's bass house forever until it's not. But yeah, but like really harnessing in on like I want you to cry. I want you to rage. Because I remember going to festivals and like these beautiful songs with these wicked drops, and I'm just headbanging, and all of a sudden I'm crying and I don't know what's going on. Like, I love that. And I feel like a lot of EDM has lost that.
Like it's just drop to drop to drop.
Well, yeah. And honestly, the music, like a lot of artists are being forced into doing shit that they don't want to do for trends, or whether they're taking the trend, like, hey, good for you. I am not that person. I think we've established that.
What's like a trend right now that you think is
tech house, all tech house remixes of songs that don't need to be remixed, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
also it's so easy. Well, I hate to say that,
no,
but
it is easy to make, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I feel like I like a lot of the tech house remixes, but you can tell when a tech house remix is like
soulless.
Yeah, literally like we threw the acapella on top of it and then grabbed the tech house pack and just we're good.
And like, and to me, there's not, if that's what you want, God bless. Like, I really am not the person to say like what's right and what's wrong. Like, is it wrong if an artist takes a trend? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know either. I mean,
to me, it's like, if that's who you are, okay, I fuck with that. If it's not, then it's like,
that's a real thing. Like when I think about people who just like really love top 40, I'm like, yeah, God bless.
Yeah, that's it. And like, I used to be I was a techno stop for bass house. I was like, you don't fuck with bass house, then get the fuck out. But no, the moment I realized like, okay, well, look at bass house now. There's like 10 of us making bass house, like real bass house, like myself. I mean, Same Punk, Martin Garrix sometimes, like Julian Jordan sometimes, and Tiesto sometimes. So like, I'm in that realm where it's like, I just want to make the shit I want to make. And because everything's cyclical, you know, like people are in the tech house now with the open format hip hop acapellas, and that's really an homage to the DJs. It's the easiest way to build a following when every DJ is looking for the edit of the song that's in, you know? But yeah, like, I don't know, to me, I could never be that. So it's like, I'm really just embracing the changes. And honestly, I don't think you can stay static either. Like, if I wanted to pivot and make just straight progressive house, I would, and I will, and I wouldn't care if anyone liked it, because I have to like it, you know? So
to make it. Yeah,
well, to make it, and honestly, like, what's the point of doing it if I don't like it, you know? Like, I remix songs I like. Like, I remixed the 1-4. I sent you that one, right? Whatever.
Oh, we'll listen to that, yeah.
That song is my favorite song. And we saw those whole documentary on this like Australian drill group that basically is being discriminated against in Australia, so much so like they came up with Kid Leroy and everything. Like, they're very plugged, they're very known, and it's almost like racism from the police to black people here is the same as racism from police to the Samoan population and the Polynesian population in Australia. And it was just like, Gracie and I were watching it in like tears. We were like, dude, this is so fucked. And it really hit something with me. And they make like hard drill music. And I was like, yo, this shit's fire too. So I found the song that I liked the most. I heard it in the documentary and I was like, I could do something so cool with that. Just because I wanted to. I really respected what they were doing. You know, it's like, if I can find a way to play that shit that I really fuck with and, you know, their message and put it in mine, then I will immediately. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the focus will always be, you know, on shit. I like harder rock tracks most of the time, but eventually
you got to stay a rock star.
Yeah, well, I'm forever a rock star.
You can't like go acoustic set.
Yeah, I mean,
rock star.
But like, you know, like, well, I was gonna say this. I feel like the kids won't understand this reference. Brett Rose, every rose has a thorn, or whatever, something like that. Like, I'm open for going wherever. Like, I've released progressive house tracks on Hexagon, and like, I love those songs. You know, like if I love it, I'll make it. I'll drop it. Dubstep track on Next Medias. I'm not a dubstep artist per se. I mean, I make wicked dubstep, but I just felt it and I wanted to make it. So I'll always make what I want to make with focus on bass house. But at some point, like, you know, the focus is on the originals. Like, to me, like, I want to keep creating shit alongside these remixes, you know, that's me and that's mine, you know. And I've lucked out that I think I understand the balance this year that I want to go for, which is like 1 and 1, you know, just like make something you like that everyone will download for free or whatever, not download for free. Just like remix something that's cool, that's not mine, keep my brain fresh, and like, how would I do it differently, and then create something that is mine fully.
So a good diet of remixes, originals, and wherever your heart takes you.
I think what a remix also does, at least for me as a producer, it keeps me like respectful of other people's crafts and everything. So it's like you'll hear something like, wow, that's so fucking cool. And kind of like when you're in your own thing all the time, listening to only your music all the time, like you are not creative or not as creative, sorry. And you also can just kind of become like obsessed with your shit or hate it. You know, like I can't listen to some of these songs. Like I've heard this song in the past week, making this cover art 100 times. And so it's like, I'm not gonna listen to it at all until it comes out. I'll listen to it once and then I won't listen to it until I play it out. And that's to protect me from that. But yeah, I'm healthy dive of both, I think, just because I make really good, you know, music and like, it's mine. So at the end of the day, as long as I fuck with it, I don't care. You know, like I hope other people fuck with it. And if it does, like, I'm really glad. If it doesn't, then okay, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that, man. I feel like that's the thing that all the execs and stuff are like, you got to just keep making that stuff that's going to make us money.
Well, like, yeah, and that's our job. Like to me, like this remix right here, like my beautiful girlfriend Gracie, our third chair, she's Samoan. You know, and so like it hit home really, really hard, like for her especially, and like to me it's like I love her, and it's like she's connecting with like her heritage of being Samoan and like connecting like that. I'm sitting there like, if that was like our kids, like I would be like gutted and destroyed. And so the best way I can show like love and respect to that is through my music, you know? So it's like,
yeah, bring it into the FLYNNINHO world.
It's like, hey, I hear you guys, I'm about to play your shit my way, but just like, you know that it's like, it's going somewhere. Like to me, that's how music can be transformative. And like when you hear a banger song, Jack Harlow Lovin' On Me, for example, every DJ will remix that because people like it and they connect with it. And so all they're doing is like, yeah, like I see you, Jack, you know, whatever. And so I think it's when I can do it for things that are meaningful to me like that, and like something like this, like no one here will know who 1-4 is unless you're like a drill god. Well, actually, shout out to Southside Chicago drill. There we go. They would know.
From what I heard from this one, it's like more the UK drill, which was influenced by Chicago drill.
Yeah, and like I didn't even know. I knew drill had started here, but not like I didn't know that then the UK and Australia took it to like their drill and make it theirs, because I don't know. I mean, like I grew up in Chicago in the suburbs and stuff, but like I knew rap and like juke and like, you know, I was like house music. But when you see this, like, oh, I have a connection to this too. Like I'm from the city that literally was like drill. Here you go, send it out. It's kind of cool. It becomes like a thing that's like a moment of time and memory, and you know, it
kind of comes full circle.
Yeah. And it's like, wow, we are on the preachy talk today. I feel
yeah,
I'm in a good mood, guys. So
let's run this one.
Yeah. you know, like I've done hip hop, you know, and drill shit in my songs before. But like the drill, like I took those drums on the original and like, you know, reworked them. And like, yeah, I'm the rock star, but I'm also like, I want to be a rap star too, or a drill star, you know, just like it's an energy thing, you know? And so like, to me, it's like, oh, I thought he's a rock star. Like it doesn't fit within the brand that he's doing a drill song. Like, no, it's just fucking good music. And, like we were talking about trends earlier. I think when trends are really cool is when you can take that and make it work for you in your way that's different. Okay. So like in bass music right now, in last year, like the build-up comes and it's about to go to drop. They drop the drums. It's like, for me, it's like dun, dun, dun,
late
dun,
drop
dun,
action.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, like that's a trend.
Then you bring in the hats.
Yeah, like that's a trend. And I've done that before in songs. That's been around forever, but it's like everywhere now, in every genre now. Like that's a trend. Like, and I like it in this song, you know, in other songs I don't. But yeah, like I took that trend and made it work for me. And I think it's when it's useful. And like, you know, like you want to know who the master like of that is? It's like some Justin Bieber will hop on anything. He's like, let's make a house track. Let's make an Afrobeat track. Or Diplo. You know, Diplo went and made a whole country album, you know? And so I think like that's when it's cool. Like you can't be locked in one way forever. Like I love drill. I mean, after that movie and everything too, like I love drill. And so if I find more drill I like, I would do it. But yeah, I think it's just, I want to use the platform to, you know, play shit I like, do something different. And if I'm the only bass house guy in the world, then God bless. Like I will die on this fucking mountain because I just love it. It's the music that I can feel the most, and it's fast and it's groovy. I love house. I love dub, everything. So
speaking of energy, like I feel like I've never seen you live, but from social media,
I sweat a lot.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say that the energy is just like, it seems like you keep it torqued the whole time. Like gun fingers up, fucking going hard. What do you think of like, do you think about it consciously while you're on stage to bring that energy to the crowd?
I think I'm very well, yes. I mean, like to me, I want my music, I want you to feel something. You know, like a lot of music, you just don't feel shit anymore. You're like, oh man. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like they transitioned to the next
and you're
song.
Like, and you're like sick. But yeah, and so as you can tell, I'm a spaz. I'm sorry, my ADHD has been insane today. I don't know what it is, no matter what. But yeah, like I want to bring that all the time, and to me, that's genuinely who I am. Like this is the one thing where it's like I don't have to be anything but myself. With this especially, since I started doing music and DJing, like I'm accepted for me, and if I'm not, there's someone out there who will. You know, I found her. There's one, and there's two.
Let's go.
So like to me, it's like I want to express that authenticity, and like that's why I only make music that I like, or like play the shit I want to play, because it's like if I like it, you can feel that. If I'm just playing the cheese because I need to play the cheese and get the crowd going.
What's the cheese? Like the cheat code? Like, you know, it's gonna like be good.
Like what
kind of cheese are we talking about here?
Well, I don't think this is like really cheese. I mean, this would be the hardest cheese ever. Like Mo Bamba, when I do open format sets, you throw that bitch on, everyone's going, I got hoes, like going crazy. But like, you know, right now it'd be like, yeah, it's like off with your heads, heads will roll or whatever. Like that's cheese now, like unless it's my remix, you know, and I can my edit.
I'm trying to get down to the epistemology. Where does cheese come from? This is when we need someone to look it up. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like the shit that everyone knows that, you know, like gimme, like gimme.
Yeah.
That is the cheese, where it's like an open format, like that's a tool you can use where it's like if the energy's dying and like you need to keep it going. Play that or play Mo Bamba or whatever. Like, but if you do it strategically as an artist, what I was gonna say when you first asked the question is I'm very conscious of energy, whether it's theirs, whether it's mine. So like, and as a performer too, like you have to know how to, especially in my genre, if I go 130 BPM the entire time, 128 BPM, people are sweating, you know? And so you have to have the lulls to bring it down. And that's where I think like the melodic music can come in, where it's like you've been going hard, and then it's just like, and then you have like a moment to interact with the crowd, and like they have a moment to breathe, because you know it's bass house, it's hard and it's fast. So like if you're not in shape and you're drinking alcohol and you're getting lit in the club or like at the festival, you're gonna need a break. And like, you can feel it, you know, like as a DJ, like if you're conscious and aware, like I can feel if the crowd is really fucking my music or not. And for the most part, when I'm confident in myself, like it doesn't matter. Like I know how to get them where they need to be, feeling good in a way that I feel good too. And that's taken time. That's taken years to really kind of like understand that balance. And sometimes there's been sets where everyone's like, you did so amazing. And I know I played all the stuff they wanted to hear and I just hated it, but I did my job, you know? So yeah, I try to bring authenticity and be consciously aware, like see what's working, what's not. Like I have normally I'll like have for my sets, 80 songs or whatever, like that I could pick from. And just kind of like gauge where the crowd is in order to go from where they are to bring them where I want them to be. And yeah, the easiest way to do that is by immediately bringing yourself, you know, that's like the number one thing. If I'm not energetic playing bass house, you're gonna be like, if I was playing bass house, like, you'd be like, this guy is fucking weird, or he's on a Xanax or something. Jeez.
Speaking of drugs at concerts, you ever just like you're feeling the energy of the room and there's the one guy that's just like, that guy's on stimulants. Like that guy, I can see it in his eyes. He's fucking lit, and I appreciate his energy, but like
that guy is going the hardest. And he is forever my favorite person on the dance floor.
Yeah,
just kidding. Don't do drugs unless you're safe. Of course, do whatever you want. I don't care.
Be safe, but like, isn't that just a funny experience where do you ever like see it and you're like, I know that.
Yeah, I'm like, well, so it's really funny. I always think it's like, as DJs, especially when you're on the stage and you're looking out, it's like a room is on fire and you're watching people just like, you know, react differently. It's
like a nature show.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, like that guy looks really weird. Like, oh, he's kind of creepy. Or like that dude's about it. And like, oh, like there's like the guy who didn't think he would get the girl and he did. And I'm like, fuck yeah, bro, let's go.
Let me help you.
Yeah. It's like, no. Shout out to my man out there. But yeah, no, like it's honestly, I love just observing while I'm up there. It sucks because then I have to DJ. I remember after DJ, I'm like, oh fuck, okay. And I have a transition. But yeah, I always think of like the chaos. The chaos is cool, you know. Like I've seen people very drunk, just on their last legs, being brought back to life by my set, and they're like, thanks, bro. I'm like, yeah,
what's like the wildest shit? Like, have you seen someone like stretcher it out? Like, do you stop the set?
Like, I don't think I have. I like, to me, like obviously if you see it, like the biggest thing I can do is just cut the music and be like, that guy, you know,
that guy needs help.
Yeah, you know, I think if you're there, that's the first thing you would do, you know. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, I mean, we all gotta be safe, you know. So like, especially up there, like in EDM especially, because I was formerly a very heavy user of drugs at one point, so I've been the raver in the crowd. You know, you can do it safely, and if you do it safely and like you're good, that's great. Like I remember we played North Coast past year, not this year, but the one before. Played a set on the main stage, played silent disco. Shout out to Peter and Annie, my parents. We're at the silent disco and all these people are just in the sun on AstroTurf listening to our silent disco set. And I'm just looking at them like, they need fucking water. And like, you know, at festivals, you're like $10 for water. It's like ridiculous if you want bottled water. And there's all this artist water behind us. And so I look at my mom and dad, I'm like, hey, start handing out the waters. And they're like handing out water to everyone. And I again, like the mic, I'm like, shout out to my parents, handing out water to everyone. And like everyone was going crazy. And like, you know, that's my job. It's a hot day. You know, I don't want you dying to hear my music. I need you alive so you can buy my music and support me financially. I'm kidding.
That AstroTurf is hot. I saw Jay Willie at North Coast and I was like, hot.
Yeah, peak hour. Like, and so I think like, you know, to me, it's like, we got in trouble by the people, the stage manager. It's like, that water's for everybody, blah, blah, blah. Or like everyone of the artist. I'm like, do you think an artist is going to drink those 20 cases of water? Or are you for real? Do you want your artist to have a good set and feel good at the silent disco? I'll fight you. I'm sorry.
Fight them.
But like, you know, it's like, to me, it's like, we have genuine people who still are friends with us because of that day. You know, I gave him water, Gracie gave him water, my parents gave him water, Sherman gave him water. And like, that's what it's about. That's what I love about this shit. Like, I can do whatever I want as the DJ. I do the shit like hand out the water, and everyone's like, oh, he's DJ, so cool. He's probably got bottles, blah blah blah.
Dude's probably got so much water back there. That's sick.
He's like, he's got all the water, but it's like I see you dying. I'm like, I'm a normal person. I'm just like, do you need water? Like, you good? And they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. That's what it's about, man. You know, save space for everybody and have a good time. Like, you can't have a good time if we're not alive or struggling, you know? But yeah, there's a lot that goes on at the festivals, and then, you know, just always be safe. That's it. Yeah.
For real. Someone that was brought up a lot in this conversation is Joyride. Well, you know, where is he? What's going on? His last album, Brave, was fire.
You know, I think to me, he's inspired my sound. Like, he's the reason why I love bass house. I mean, like him and an OG Jaws before he's decided to do what he is doing now, which is very soul crushing.
And Jaws is from this area.
Yeah, Joyride's from the UK. So Joyride was a drum and bass guy before. Yeah, I don't know. And so, like, to me, it's like, it makes what I do harder because it's like, you know, there's not a lot of bass house right now. But like, there's only a couple people who can make the really good shit that's bass house that would inspire me. And so like, when he released the album Brave, he just gotten done with like a back surgery, like spinal fractures or whatever. And, you know, he still plays shows and everything, but I think he's one of those artists that's like, album, like, here's an album, you know, and it's very rare nowadays where it's like single, oh, here's the EP, or here's a single, and here's another single, and here's another single. He strikes me very much as not like, when I've seen of him in interviews and like the way he plays, like the way he releases music, like he thinks about everything and is telling the story. Like the Brave album is all about how he basically almost died and was...
What? Do you know what happened?
I think he got in an accident or something and like basically like fractured a bunch of his spine vertebrae. He has like 2 bolts through his back. Yeah,
the album cover, if you look it up. I mean, go check out that album. It's like fantastic.
Yeah. And so like, I feel like kind of when you're playing everywhere like that, it's like, one, there's gonna be a recovery. Like, just go out.
My light went out. It's okay. It's okay. We're going. Honestly, like, I feel like I look kind of good without that light out. Yeah.
Welcome to 69.9.
This is after dark now.
But yeah, and so like, to me, that I am always like, when is this motherfucker gonna release something? And like, he's not on the socials a whole lot, or whatever, because he's kind of at that point. He's like where, you know, the Chamis, the Joyrides, I'm trying to think who else came up there, like the Jaws. Like, if those dudes didn't want to release anything ever, they could still tour forever, you know? And so I think for him, like, you know, he just wants to make shit he likes. And I've always seen that. Because I remember, like, dude, first time I'm at Spring Awakening as a DJ, I'm going to see Joyride for the second time. So hype. And there's, like, barely anyone there for a set. It was kind of rainy. But, you know, his DJing's going to build up. I'm like, oh, it's going to be crazy. And I think he threw up the wrong channel because nothing played. You know, he threw up the wrong channel. He's switching it real quick. He gets on the mic. He's like, oh, fuck. He's like, he's like, guys, I'm really sorry, but that transition is fucking sick. Can I go back and do it again? The crowd's like, yeah. Like, people love that, you know, like the honesty, the whatever. And that's why, like, from that moment, I was like, this guy's God, you know, to me. He makes the music, and on top of that, he's an incredible DJ. And you can have a flub like that and just own it. And then you just ask, 100%. Hey guys, can I do that again? Can I have one more try? Like, to me, and that's insane. Like, and to me, I've done that before. Like, Concord, I was back to back with Max, Cheat Codes, and first ever sold out show I played in my life. And I'm DJing with my cousin Max, and it's going great. Like, we are running the room, and they opened doors an hour early because it was sold out that hard. All of a sudden, you know, like, I bring in the song, it goes and plays, and the room is rocking, it's electric, and then the music stops. And it's a full room, and we're sitting up there, and we're both like, what the fuck? Like, whatever. And so I'm like, Max, get a song going, because they're like, hey, one of the things died, like, just play it on the other channel, we'll get it back. And then so Max plays the song, I get in the mic, like, hey guys, we have no idea what the fuck just happened there. But if you don't mind, we'd love to keep like partying with you. And I thought back to that moment of joy, and the whole crowd was like, yeah, go for crazy, blah, blah. And so to me, like, I don't know, wouldn't you want to do that? You know, where it's like you can just be normal and like have a good time. Like, so yeah,
People make mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like to me, it's like, that's why EDMs are out. You know, it's weird, it's different. Yeah, it might sound weird sometimes, but we're all people at the end of the day, you know, and like DJs especially, artists especially, there's that pressure to be perfect all the time. Like if I'm feeling down, I will play like I'm down because I'm a person. And like, yeah, you know, I try to turn it on, but like I will never be disingenuine because music is the one thing that allowed me to be genuine, you know, and to never have to worry about, oh, I'm not gonna impress my father. Oh, I don't have the white picket fence with the 9 to 5, you know, like I'm fucking up my life, which was very much not from my family ever, but like I know from former friends, you know, who were like, oh, so you DJ, what do you really do though? And so all of that built into the moment where I can finally just enjoy the moment however I am. Like if I'm feeling it like I am now in this podcast, like I'm feeling it. I'm there. I'm amped and I'm feeling it. And like if I'm down, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm a little sad, but I'll still be moving because I fucking love the music. It's kind of like when you're mad, but someone does something really nice for you and you'll be like, thanks. You know?
I know that feeling. I'm glad you're feeling it. That just kind of brought up like a worst technical difficulty. Would that have been the worst technical difficulty at a show?
Yeah, I mean, to me, like so there's two types of way you're gonna react to that, which is one, the way Max reacted, which was, dude, what the fuck, and rightfully so, because internally I'm like screaming, like,
and that's not your fault. Like
no,
if the channel died,
yeah. But then like in that moment, I don't know, I just started laughing because it's like, isn't it crazy how in the biggest show I've played so far, it's sold out, everything's going incredible, it just dies. I'm just like, I laughed because I'm like, this is great that I get to have this moment and remember it and be like, yeah, that was funny. And so like in that moment, it's like, that's my moment with everyone there, you know, and they'd be like, oh, remember that one DJ who was like, hey guys, don't know what the fuck happened there. He was kind of cute. And he would,
we liked him.
He was a great, yeah, we liked him because he's a person or whatever, you know, like that's what this is for. And so, but that, like that, I don't think I've actually had another one that bad. That was terrifying because it's like, imagine a room full of people and you're standing up there just like, you're raised above everyone and they're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough, man. Well, yo, we've been going for a minute.
I know I'm sorry.
No, dude, honestly, you know, you make my job a lot easier.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's tough. Sometimes you get the producer who's very introverted,
yeah,
which is also fun to talk to, but
I only know Serum.
Yeah, they only know Serum, and you're like, so tell me about your life. And you're like, well, my life is Serum, so sorry.
Serum is life.
Yeah. But, you know, it's funny. I actually have never done this before, but I forgot to ask you my icebreaker question, which is also something we bring up at the end of the show. So we'll just go back to back and we'll do them right now.
Okay.
The icebreaker question is, what was your first concert that you attended?
Oh, this is epic. Also, shout out to my parents once again, Peter and Annie.
Your parents sound very supportive. I'll just say that.
My dad was a rock star. My mom would party with the Bulls players back in the day. Beautiful people like Scottie Pippen trying to take my mom and her friend back. You know, on the third cell phone he had. Like
Scottie Pippen's a real freak. I've heard, not in a bad way. But like you know, freaky. She was like also a flight attendant, saw a lot of the world. So I think like, you know, I'm really fortunate that I have very supportive parents. Like through soccer, through whatever, like they take the time to get to know what I'm doing. My mom finally knows the difference between tech house and bass house, which was which took a painfully long amount of time. But like, I know a lot of people's parents wouldn't support them in this. And like, luckily since Gracie's been in my life too, like she's really helped them understand the gravity of like, this show's important. This show is like, oh, whatever. Like, or, hey, you need to be here. This is when it is, taking care of their guest list, whatever. And I don't know, to me, it's like, if I can bring my parents on like a sold out stage at like fucking Tomorrowland with her and like our 1-year-old baby and hold them up like, Savannah, like Lion King shit.
Like, that's what, you know, I want to share those moments with because like those people invested in me. And so like, to me, it's like, I want to give back. And the only way I can is like, I mean, I'm not that
getting
cool.
That backstage VIP.
Well, it's just like, I want to bring them on stage and say thank you, you know? Like, and to me, it's like, I want them to see and share, you know, like they were at the show Armin van Buuren. My dad's like crying because I'm playing Up on a Hill of Plus Blue Lake. And like the Swedish House Mafia, and talk. I can't even talk now. I'm getting back. It's like the emotional part like that. It's like, I love my family. They're very supportive. They do that. Anyways, they took me to my first ever concert, Naperville Rib Fest. If you've never been, I don't know, do they still do that?
I've never heard of it, but it sounds lit.
Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure they had like Pitbull last year as like their headliner.
Mr. Worldwide, nice.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide.
Damn, they got Pitbull.
Yeah, well, it's like imagine the age demographic is like 30-year-olds with families and like 40-year-olds and up. So when I was in elementary school, middle school, my parents took us and they had Heart playing like
nice Barracuda,
and it was just mental. And they were and bro, and like
hard.
My little brother and I had been like playing Guitar Hero all week, all like the hard songs to like get amped and rave for it. And it was like insane. And like I think from that point on, like music just kind of became really, really important to me because I mean, even growing up, my dad did music.
You said he was a rock star.
Yeah, he had long hair, the big old hair. He had a purple suit he'd wear when he performed and stuff. And
swag.
Yeah, he's in Logic. He's the reason why I have Logic and everything. I give him plugins now, so it worked out. But yeah, from that point on, like I think right there you could see like the rock influence and like the appreciation of like real greats. Like Heart will forever be two of the first rock acts, women, who were just fucking insanely good. And they were incredible live at like they're like older women, at that point in time, past their career. And they still hit the notes and I was just like, whoa, this is so cool. Yeah.
That's dope.
What about you?
That's dope. My first concert was the Fray, unfortunately. I always say this, that my first concert was supposed to be Fall Out Boy. But my mom was like, yeah, like it's not going to happen.
She's like, you're not old enough for Fall Out Boy. Have you tried Fray?
Yeah, exactly. She was like, the Fray might be more up your alley. But yeah, so that was
it good?
It was good. It was at
good performers.
Northerly Island.
How old were you?
OK Go opened for them too.
Here we go.
They didn't have the treadmills.
I would be so pissed.
Yeah, they didn't have them. It's okay. I forgot.
No, it's not.
Yeah. But
wow, what a first concert.
So yeah, not a great first concert, but anyway, that's what I got. But so
I didn't mean to laugh that hard. Not the answer I was expecting at all.
It's a good concert though. It's like one of those things where like my OCD brain is like, it should have not been like that, but it's almost like a lesson for me because it teaches me like you don't really have control like that. Like you got what you got.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's okay.
Just enjoy it still.
Yeah, it was. I remember it was wicked loud. I was like, holy shit! I've never been to a live concert, and I was like, this is.
You're like, my ears hurt,
insane.
Mom.
Yeah. But okay, so the wrap up question. We talked about your first concert, but what was your most game changing, impactful concert that you have been to? Where you were just like
a fan.
Yeah, and you were just like, wow. Obviously, the first concert is like normally pretty impactful.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I'm so thrown off because I think when you see a concert now, especially being an artist, it's like it's honestly just as important because it's like it's really hard for me to go see people perform
and not like analyze everything.
The last concert I went to was the Millennium. She loves Millennium, and when I played North Coast, we had gone too hard, and we decided right before Millennium was gonna go on to leave, and Gracie doesn't let me talk about it because she was like, I don't even want to think like it happened because she'd been talking the entire year about seeing Millennium after. So we went and saw him, and it was with what is the rock band? Oh, I Prevail. And she didn't tell me like I love I Prevail. It's like the newest like Linkin Park kind of stuff. And they do some incredible like metal like EDM crunch shit. And so we get there and she surprised me. She's like, oh, I'm like, who's after opener? She's like, oh, I Prevail. I'm like, I Prevail's here? Like, what the fuck? And it was incredible from like opener to closer. Millennium was insane. I mean, I Prevail was just like mental and like we're in the crowd raging. We went to Jay Willie.
Oh, really?
We did.
Nice.
We did.
Shout out Jay Willie.
We did a shoey there together. First and last shoey I will ever do.
Oh boy, a festival shoey sounds even worse.
Yeah, well, this one I feel like it's what makes it so cringe is that I was sober and I suggested we do it.
Guys, let's do a shoot. Wait, what provoked you?
I just wanted to share a moment with Jay Willie. Love Jay Willie.
That is something you won't forget.
No.
And for people who don't know what a shoey is, you pour
do one right
liquids.
Now. Have you done one?
I have done one, unfortunately.
Gracie, do you want to do one? I'll do one.
I don't, my shoes, I don't want to ruin them. I don't want to ruin them. But you know what? We should do a shoey at some point.
Yeah.
I've never done a shoey on a podcast.
I won't make you do that. It's disgusting.
Okay.
But yeah, the concert was incredible. And honestly, like that concert for me, I think I was kind of like in a low at that point, just personally with music, whatever. But the blend of the melodic and then the rage and whatever, I was like, that is the feeling that I've been missing that I want to take back. So that's always the two things. I want the beauty and I want the pain. And we had so much fun. We were like, I don't get drunk up very often, but I was hammered at the end of that because it was just so cool.
It was the shoey, dude. The shoey had some extra chemicals from the shoe. Yeah. Okay, wait. Also, the shoey, you drink from a shoe.
Yeah.
Just in case you weren't aware.
You get what was on your feet. So
yeah. Get
anyways.
some microbes. It's basically like probiotics.
Yeah.
So,
but it was nice. You know, like it's hard to be a fan nowadays. Sometimes, like to turn that part of your brain off. As an artist, because you're like the DJ and he was like, oh, he fucked up that transition. I would have done it better. And like that's not why I do music. You know, like I want to enjoy it. And so it was nice to see someone that she wanted to see. And also like I'm not gonna be playing guitar, competing with I Prevail. And like it was awesome. The show was awesome. She had a great time. I had a great time. And yeah, it was really needed. As dumb as it sounds. And
one of those
back on
needed shows.
Yeah, and I didn't even know I needed it. So yeah, what about you?
Snuck up on you.
Yeah.
For me, and this has been on the podcast, but you know, it's part of the lore. It was Deadmau5 played at Lollapalooza one year. He closed.
This is your last concert?
No.
Oh, okay.
This was my favorite concert.
Gotcha.
Last concert was shit. Oh, we saw G Jones at the Riv, which was really cool.
Well, tell me about your favorite concert.
So many breaks. Anyway, yeah, favorite concert was Deadmau5 at Lollapalooza. Like it was 4 times 4 equals 12. I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
like it's like not the right number. Anyway, like it starts raining. He plays some chords, and it was just so epic. They didn't cancel the show. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you get the rain, they're like, "We got to stop," and it's just a huge buzzkill. They just kept it going. We're like partying in the rain, soaked. All of our phones got messed up, but it was like the best.
Yeah, see, so my favorite concert I've been to would be Rufus. Like Rufus
du Sol.
Dude, I bought Hangout 2016. I was going to see Frank Ocean. And Frank Ocean is notorious for what? Do you know?
Fucking shit up? I don't know. Like
for pulling out of concerts.
Oh,
festivals.
Okay, yeah.
And the whole reason I wanted to go was to see him. You know, there's other people on, but Rufus du Sol, I just started getting into them. And this is right when they were starting to like really
pick up steam.
And so I'm in the crowd and they're like playing, and it's on the beach in the Gulf Shores of Alabama. The sun is setting. They're doing a live set. And I like, it was just like epic because the sun is shining. It's how you should hear Rufus, like in the perfect light, not a cloud. The singer gets up and he's like, if you look over there, there's a perfect sunset and all you beautiful people here. And like, it sounds so cheesy, but it was just so good. I didn't know they, one, did live at that point, but two, it was just like from start to finish, like incredible. Like everything was perfect and awesome. And I'm crying sober. I didn't even know I had that in me to like be like crying to that music, and really just kind of like,
sober cry.
Yeah, I will never forget that. That is like the show, I think, for me. And I went by myself. So
nice. I've still never seen Rufus, but I also saw that Gracie was pointing at your tattoo. Was that anything related to a show? Maybe.
Well, okay. So I just played Boombox Cartel, and I've had this since before I was an artist. It's the lyrics of Supernatural. Can you take me somewhere I've never been? There you go. Oh, you can see it here.
Yeah, just read it off my arm real quick.
It wraps around my arm like that. But it says, can you take me somewhere I've never been? Do you believe in the supernatural? And like that song for me, like one of my all-time favorite songs is Quicks and Movie Max Cartel. The first drop is like a hard trap, ugly drop. Are you seeing where this?
Good ugly drop.
Are you seeing like a hard like bass drop? Are you seeing where this is going?
It's about to get beautiful.
Yes. And I didn't even know that's. I just made a connection right there. But yeah, like it's all-time favorite song. Like it really just connected home to me because at that point in time I was like didn't know who I was gonna be post soccer and whatever. But yeah, I mean like I just got to play with him, which was like a full circle moment for me. Like, and that's the cool part of where I'm at now.
Yeah,
it's
that's awesome.
Like I got to play with Abstract and I was like, oh, dude, like I've been your fan for like ever. And it's like I had to play with him twice, Night Party. I'm like, oh my God.
Sick.
Yeah.
Dude,
so like,
Rob Swire, bro.
yeah. And so like, you know, when I got to play Boombox, like, you know, I was direct supporting him and I just went up to him and I was like, hey man, like I just want to let you know, like you changed my life. Like I have your lyrics tattooed on me. He's like, what? Like what lyrics? I'm like, Supernatural. He's like, you have those lyrics tattooed on you? He's like, he calls a photographer, so he takes a photo. Meant a lot. But that's like the coolest part because it's like, I hope I can have that impact on people where it's like, hey, like that song changed my life or like whatever. Like, because that's all it did for me. When I heard that song dealing with like depression and whatever, and it's also like just trying to like find anything good. And for whatever reason, it just connected. And every time I hear it to this day, you know, just like I get goosebumps and everything and stuff. But yeah, so now it's cool because now I went from the fan to the fan behind the decks, still fangirling when I meet people or whatever. But yeah.
You gotta like constrain the fanboy just slightly. I'm sure with him it was like, bro, like you're on my body, so.
You know, I wish you're supposed to, but I literally tripped and slid across a couch trying to meet Armin van Buren, who I opened up for at North Coast. I saw him. I opened up for him at, Aragon? And I was like, hi, I just ate shit and there was like all these beer cans everywhere. I wasn't even drunk. It was just like in a common area. So like he probably thought I was hammered. I was like, I opened up for you at your concert.
I love you.
Well, because it was just so crazy. I was like freaked.
Yeah.
You know, like
we've all had that moment.
You should never stop being a fan, you know? Like you gotta like this and you gotta like the people, you know, listen to and like, yeah, my faves, like Joyride, whatever Joyride releases next, it could be a piano like flute album.
Sick.
I'd be like, I'm a piano and flute artist. Pivot.
That's the thing nowadays, you know,
Yeah.
Andre.
Yeah, that's right.
The flute album, dude.
Yeah, well, this has been fun, bro.
Dude, yeah, no, this has been great. Let's let people know where they can find you. On, you know, maybe in the real world, IRL / also I was talking more social media.
My social security number is, I'm kidding. Social media, everything is FLYNNINHO, FLYNNINHO. You spell FLYNNINHO. That's the easy way to get it. And then next show, I'm in Calgary next weekend. I locked in North Coast for this year.
Let's go.
So if you're waiting summer to be here, I'll be there. And yeah, I got a song coming out Friday. I got the Blink-182 one. So if you listen this far through me rambling, you can download for free. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. So
it's already out, guys.
Yeah, but yeah, I plan on bouncing around a lot this year. So I'll find you if you don't find me.
I wish you all the best, man.
Likewise.
Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it if you've made it this far. Whatever time of day it is there, I hope you have a good rest of it. And we'll catch you next time. Peace. I've never done a clap ending, but I like that.